Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining my channel again. Shanae Cartwright, success strategist, brains, beauty, and business. Today, I wanted to talk with you about some of the life lessons that I've picked up along the way concerning chaplaincy. I need to turn off these notifications. So excuse me for just a moment. But how are you all doing? You doing okay? You all doing okay? I hope you're doing all right. All right, let me do this real quick so it's not disturbing us. Okay. All right, I did that. So, hi, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. As you can see, I'm in my office space and I'm so excited because I just painted it pink breeze. It's not my favorite color, but I love it because it just added a little more life and personality to the room. And I will be doing a office tour once everything gets situated, but this is where we are so far. And I really think it's important to have a space that you can call your own wherever you are, that you can really work from and allow those creative juices to flow. And so that you can be poured into. I think everyone should have some type of space that they call their own, whether it be an office, whether it be a prayer room, whether it be just a side room, a closet, whatever space that you have to make it your own, because you need to be able to separate work from rest or work from play. And pretty soon I'll be getting my desk and different things, and I'll be making sure that this will be the place that I work from. So sermon prep for just spiritual time as far as prayer and just meeting God. I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to it. I already use that space for this now, but needs to make it a little bit more homely, a little more homelier. And so I will do that. But life lessons for what I've grown to understand as life lessons for chaplaincy. Many of you all know that, yes, I am a chaplain, and I don't claim to be this person who is, a guru or a philosopher where I have all the answers. And I think this is what makes this experience and this community connection with you all so much more organic, is that I don't claim to have all the answers or know it all, but I want you all to know that as I am learning along the way, that I want to share those just pieces of information with you. And I'm all about sharing. I don't mind sharing information and ideas. I'm not the type of person to hold back or hoard information for myself, because I believe information should be shared. And one of the greatest ways that we can learn and retain information is when we learn how to share it with others, which is a part of teaching, but that's a whole nother subject. But what are some life lessons that I've learned from chaplaincy? First of all, that being a chaplain, and I look at different families and patients and people, what I see is that we really have to learn to forgive quickly. If you have not seen the video that I posted about forgiveness, I want to encourage you to watch that, where I go just on the surface level of the importance of forgiveness. But forgiving quickly is very important. The Bible talks about not going to bed angry, or do not go to bed. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath. And it's very important, because you just never know the next day if and when you'll wake up. And I think so often we take that lightly, that we're going to go to sleep and wake up the next day and just pick up where we left off. But each day is brand new mercy. And I know that there was a deacon in my church, and he would always say, you would say the statement, something to the point of, I'll see you next week. And he would always say, Lord willing, because we don't know. Lord willing, meaning if it's God's will for you to see me next week, I'll see you. He would never say, yes, I'll see you next week, or yes, I'll see you tomorrow. It was always Lord willing. And so I say that to say we really have to be in a place or state quick to forgive, not allowing anger or burdens to hold us to the point where we can't be fluid and move, that we're so restrained by this hurt or this pain. So being able to forgive freely, forgive quickly. And again, I know that I said before that forgiveness is a process, and it is. And as we grow deeper in love with our God and what that means to be free and forgive, we really have to remind ourselves that life is not promised, like tomorrow is not promised. And so that's why we should forgive today. So that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned from chaplaincy, because I see so often where people can rapidly deteriorate and decline. And one minute they're here, they're talking, and the next minute they're gasping for air. They're on oxygen concentrators. They are in their home and they thought they had more time to talk to that daughter or talk to that son. And before they know it, again, they're not here anymore, or they're here cognitively. They can hear, they can think, but they can't express, they can't talk. And that's because of whatever the disease process and the decline that is happening to that individual. Their time is slipping away from them. So forgive quickly. Number two, I would say one of the life lessons that I've learned and still grappling with is to get your house in order. Many of you all are familiar with the story in the Bible that talks about King Hezekiah, and how the word of the Lord came to him saying that he was going to die. And I don't want this to be a negative or a Debbie Downer type of post, but I wanted you all to just share. I wanted to be able to share with you all some of the things that I've gravitated to and what I've learned in this short period of time within the working world of what I do. But the word of the Lord came to him saying, get your house in order because you're going to die quickly. And we know, some of us know the story where Hezekiah, it says he turned his face to the wall and he asked God for life, pretty much. And his life was extended. So whether or not you believe the story or not, that's another conversation in itself. But the word of the Lord came to him saying, get your house in order. I'm reminded daily that it is so important for us to have our arrangements in place for life as well as death. Having the conversations about what you want in your final days before you get to that place where you can no longer make decisions and speak is very important. So having a living will in place, making sure that the people who are connected to you, your family, your spouse, your loved ones, they know what you want, what your wishes are, and they can act on that. I cannot tell you how many times that I've gone into chaos with families who, this one wants to do this one wants to do this, and the person who they're preparing these things for, or preparing, just the final arrangements for, they can no longer speak, or cognitively the illness has taken over to a place where they can't share with them what they want. And so they don't have a power of attorney in place. They don't have a medical power of attorney in place. They don't have a will or a living will in place. And so you have to scramble to get these things in order. And then sometimes you go through legal issues that you have to get somebody else involved. So it's very important that we get our house in order, that we make proper arrangements now. And I know sometimes it can seem very overwhelming to think about death, because we're living, we're alive. And, you don't want to think about death. I think in the Western culture, what I've shared before on another one of my videos is that we are repelled by the thought of death, and we don't think about it. And so in doing so, not thinking about it, we put it off and we put it off and we put it off till, unfortunately, sometimes it's too late. And I want to encourage somebody, if you're watching today, don't put it off. If you know you have elderly parents, begin having the conversations with them now about death and dying. Look up some information about processing death and dying. What happens to the body? How should I prepare? How should I respond? Let me tell you this real quick. This is a real tidbit. If you did not know, you can go to the hospital right now, your local hospital. You can get someone to talk with you, sit down. It can be a chaplain can come in and talk with you and go through the process of a living will. Or I shouldn't say a living will. Let me use the medical term. It's a DNR, or do not resuscitate order, or many people call it different things. Some people call it a living will. But you can have these papers put in place where they can go through the paperwork with you. It's about two-sided, maybe a 3-page paper, very simple. It's nothing long and drawn out, but very simple. And what it does is you make the determination. If I am found to be, you know, incoherent, if am not able to make the decisions for myself, who do I put in place? Well, what do you want to happen? Do you want extreme measures to be put in place to save your life? So do you want CPR? The questions are very straightforward and self-explanatory, that you can go through them. But I always encourage people to sit down with somebody else, sit down with your loved one, make sure that the proper contact information is on those forms for that person they may need to contact, just in case you are unable to make decisions for yourself. So what happens is, when you're unable to make those decisions for yourself, that next person that you've put down, whether it's a next of kin, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your child, they will be the person, the point of contact that the medical personnel will reach out to. Right? So those are the things that you have to start thinking about, getting your house in order, not waiting until you're sick, not waiting until there's a tragedy or an accident or something happens where then you have to scramble and get everything together. Life lesson number 3 that I've learned, and it flows so good with this next point. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Y'all, please, please, please take care of yourself. The body is a temple. The body is a temple. What happens in a temple? What happens in a temple? You think about a temple or a synagogue or a church. It's a place of worship. When you think of worship, you think of holiness. There are things that happen there that don't happen outside of those 4 walls, because this is a place of consecration. It's holiness. So there are some things that we're not going to allow here. So when you think about your body as a temple, being holy, untouchable, that their only worship and holiness and things that are of God happen here, we should treat our body the same way. Take care of yourself. There are so many illnesses that are preventable. There are so many illnesses, you all, that are preventable. And I think what it is that a lot of times we're looking for a quick fix. We're looking for a pill that we can pop. We're looking for a medication. And of course, the Western culture, we are so accustomed to taking a pill, taking a narcotic, taking pain medication, instead of listening to our body. But take care of yourself. What you put in, it may or may not come out. See, our body is different now. Our body is trying to process and digest these things and trying to figure out, well, what's going on internally. What is this that you've just given me? Is this a Big Mac with cheese? Is this lettuce? Is this fresh greens? Is this a artery clogging food? Is this a lot of processed meat and cheese? I'm not trying to speak down to anybody, but what I want you to know is that you only get one body. I was having a conversation with my brother, and we were joking because we often hear the word or expression YOLO, YOLO, YOLO. You only live once. You only live once. And he said, nope, you only die once, which is also true. We know we only live once, and we only die once. Well, those of us who believe in, Christ and the things of God, we believe that we're going to live eternally after this body and after this life. But he said, you only die once. And I don't know about you, but I want to be in a place where I know that I've done everything physically in my power to take care of myself. I don't want to leave it in the hands of a doctor. I don't want to leave it in the hands of a practitioner or somebody who's going to just say, oh, we're going to prescribe you this. We're going to prescribe you this. Because a lot of times what I'm learning and seeing is that doctors are in the business of making money through pharmaceuticals, through prescriptions. And you all know I'm telling the truth. You all know I'm right about it. And, some people, we're just so in a place of, we're so dependent on a drug that we're not in a place of listening to our body, because we're not taking care of our body and we want a quick fix. So please take care of yourself. Take care of your body. We put oil in our car. We put gas in our car, the right fuel, whether it's diesel, whether it's unleaded. You do the right things that you need to do for your car. So why not do that with your body? Some of us have foreign cars, and you can't put cheap things and cheap parts on your foreign cars. They have to be top of the line parts, top of the line, because in order to keep it going and maintaining that car, you have to put certain things on that car. If you're gonna put great products, great equipment on your car, why not put great things in your body? If we can learn to maintain and keep a routine schedule with our foreign cars, why can't we treat our bodies like foreign vehicles, foreign cars, better than foreign vehicles? Because you only get one body. You can get another car. You may not necessarily be able to get another body. Take care of your body. All right, and finally, the last life lesson that I want to share with you, and I'm going to get off here. Hey, how you doing? Hello, hello, hello. Is do everything to the glory of the Lord. This is a life lesson that I've learned, and I know you may be wondering, well, why is that a life lesson? Because when you do everything to the glory of the Lord, you know you're not doing it for yourself. And you learn that if I'm doing it for the Lord, I can't complain about what I'm doing. It takes a lot of energy to complain. It takes so much energy to complain and just be miserable. And I've learned that complaining just makes our life miserable and it hastens your death. Have you ever been around somebody? It just seems like they complain about everything, that every turn, they were complaining about this, complaining about that, complaining about this. And then you look up and it seems like an hour has passed because they've been complaining about so much. You know, God had to correct me on that as well, that it's so much life to be lived. It's so much that we can be grateful for. We cannot go through life complaining every day, you all. It takes away your minutes, your hours. And you know what? Time is a non-renewable resource that you cannot get back. So why complain about it? Why complain about things that you can't change? Why are you complaining about things that you can't change? It makes no sense. Sometimes we just have to roll with the punches, roll with what life gives us. And we say, okay, God, I trust in you to help me in this. I trust in you to help me in this situation. I trust you in this, and I'm not going to complain. I could complain, but it's not going to do anything to change my situation. So I might as well just go on ahead and do what I need to do and keep it moving. That's not to say that you won't feel like complaining, or you may not. It's not to say that you don't even have things to complain about. There are some things that I know people are going through right now. I love the quote that, and I forget who wrote this quote, but he says, everyone is going through a situation. Everyone is going through something in life that we know not of. You can walk past somebody right now and they can be terminally ill and you would never know it. And they could complain, but they've decided, I want to spend my time wisely. Instead of using the breath that I have to complain, I'm going to take this time to do something productive instead of counterproductive. I'm going to do something productive, and I'm not going to complain, because it hastens your death. Maybe not physically, but definitely spiritually and internally, where you're breaking your insides by complaining. And here's a bonus that I'll just share. What I've learned in this line of work is that human connection is necessary and it's undeniable. We should not take it for granted. And in this time of COVID, and then we see that many cities and states are preparing for another lockdown and quarantine, is that we really need the connection of one another. There was a study done years ago, and it talked about how they put individuals in ice buckets. They made them put their hands in ice buckets, or no, they made them stand in ice water. And the study showed that having someone present and coaching them and encouraging them allowed them to stand in the ice bucket, the ice water, longer than the people who did not have anyone there connecting with them and coaching them and encouraging them. Human connection is very important. It is undeniable. And that's why we should not complain, because we don't want to push people away. And you don't want people, just anyone in your circle or in your presence, just to say, I have somebody. We want those meaningful connections, of course. But who are those people in your circle? Who are those people that you're connected to, where you know that they're encouraging you and you're encouraging them? Is not just one-sided, but it's a wonderful experience. We are social creatures. That's how God has created us to be. And it's an undeniable connection that helps us to keep moving on this journey of life. That's what I wanted to share with you all today. Life lessons from chaplaincy. So forgive quickly, get your house in order. What arrangements need to be made? What do you want done for your life in those final days? Take care of yourself. Please take care of your body and do everything to the glory of the Lord, because in doing it to the glory of the Lord, you won't complain. You won't be tempted to complain. You'll say, if I'm doing this for the Lord, I can't complain. I want to complain, but I can't complain. That's marriage. That's raising your children. That's your job. That's eating healthy, taking care of your body. We don't want to complain about doing the right things. That's waking up in the morning, even if everything is not the way you want it to be in your home. The fact that you have a home, there's a reason to not complain. You may not have everything that you want in your refrigerator, but the fact that you have something to prepare, it's a reason not to complain. You may not have all the money in the world, but the fact that provision is being made, that you have everything that you need, that's a reason to rejoice and not complain. So, all right, that's my time. I got to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking with you all again. Continue to affirm yourself and your faith, and know that you're not alone. Be encouraged. And until I see you all next time, always remember that a mind change equals a life change. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.